Hello guys, in this new tutorial of Xamarin Forms, today we're gonna show you how to make a video call in Xamarin Forms application. So before that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell for new videos. So let's begin by making a SwipeView in the friends list. So let's move to the friends page and add SwipeView. So we're gonna make a swipe right items, and inside it we're gonna add two swipe items, one for the video call and the second one for the message. So I'm gonna show you something very cool is Google Fonts icons. So you can search any icon you need it and you can download it for free and put it in your Android project. So here we paste all the needed icons here under drawable folder on the Android project. After that, we need to set up the image icon to video call.png, for example, and also bind the command to the video call command. The command parameter will be like in the gesture recognizer, it will be a dot to pass the friend object. And for the second item, swipe item, it will be for go to private discussion. Let's make some background color here. Let's say green, and let's change the other one to blue. It will be something like this. Very cool. Now, let's move to the Web API chat app, and we need to add a new method called call friend async, and we need to get the sender user from the connection ID, and before that we need to make some changes in the connection model and set a new property called is available by default, initialize it to true, and after that we need to send the signal for all the terminals of our friend, like in Facebook when you have two devices. So when someone called you, you will receive two notifications on the two devices. Let's move to the Xamarin Forms chat service, and we need to set up a new method called receive a call, and inside it we're gonna make help connection dot on call friend, and eventually we need to add the signature of this method in the iChat service interface. Now, let's move to the friend page view, and we need to inject the chat service and the constructor here. And inside the initialize, we need to call this receive call event or listener. So every time you connect to this, you navigate to this page, you're gonna subscribe to event called receive video call. And inside it, when you receive a video call, you need to navigate to a new page called incoming call. So inside the get video call, we need to add navigation service dot navigate to. It will be the name of your page here. So we're going to create a new content page called incoming call, type of Xamarin Forms Prism content page. So don't forget to insert the necessary using, and we're gonna pass the friend object like navigation parameters. So let's give it a key called friend object, and the value will be the serialization of our friend object. So we're gonna use JSON convert.serialize selected friend. Now we're gonna make the incoming call. It will be something like this. So we're gonna have 4 rows. Let's beginning by making a grid with 4 rows, and inside it I'm gonna create the image of your friends, so it will be a frame, and inside the frame it will be another frame to make the border something stylish, and inside it we're gonna add the image. After that, we need to make two buttons, one for the reminder and the other one for send a message. You don't need to take the call, for example. So you can make a reminder, or you can send a message to a friend. And finally, we need to add two others buttons called accept and reject call. So the red one, it will be for reject call, and the green one, it will be for accept call. Great. Now let's move to the income call page view model, and we're gonna generate the constructor here. Eventually, we need to bind the two commands, accept call command and reject call command. It will be equal to new delegate command, and we're gonna add two methods, one for accept call and the other one for reject call. So after that, we need to move to the chat service and add two new methods, one for reject video call and the other one to accept video call. Great. Eventually, we need to add this in the Web API also. So it will be an async task method. And it will be await of help connection dot invoke async accept video call, and eventually we need to know the current user and the friend, so target user. And here we need to pass the current user and the friend user. It's the same thing for reject call also. Great. Change the name. And eventually, don't forget to update the interface of our chat service. Cool. Now, let's move to the chat hub in the Web API and add two methods for accept and reject calls. It will be public task, and let's copy this code. And let's change the name to reject video call and change the parameters here to current user and friend user. Great. So you can copy and paste the same code and just change the name to accept video call. Now, in the incoming call page view, we need to override the initialize method, and eventually we need to inject the chat service here and add the code like in the friends page. So eventually you can centralize this code in the base view model in order to prevent the duplication of code. So it's not the object of this tutorial. And now we need to define the friend property, get it from the navigation param. So let's create a new property called friend type of user model, and eventually you need to make it a bindable property. So the get will return the private friend, and the set will be set property, take the reference of friend and the value. Cool. Now, in the reject call, we need to call the chat service dot reject call, and in the same way, we need to duplicate the friend property to change it to the current user. And here we need to put the current user dot email and the friend dot email. After that, We need to navigate every time when we call the reject call to the friend page, and when we accept call, we need to navigate to call page. Great. That's why I'm gonna create a call page, and here don't forget to pass the friend object every time you navigate to a new page. So let's run the application and see. So here we have my real device at the left and the emulator at the right. So let's connect or log in by Nicola account and Ella account at the same time. And here we have a nice exception because I forget to upgrade the database and the web API. We have already added a new property, so that's why we need to add a migration add is available property. After that, don't forget to update the database, and eventually I forget to call the video call command in the friends page. So every time we trigger the SwipeView, we need to make the call command. So video call, inside the video call, we need to navigate to we need to send a signal to our friend in order to navigate in can call page view. That's why in the chat service we need to add call friend method and receive private video call. Let's change it and eventually update the interface. So here it's just accelerated video, so you can take the code source from the GitHub, so don't worry about the code. Cool. Let's deploy our Android application on the real device, and let's deploy it on the emulator. So let's run and see. Here we have Ella account and Nicola account. Sign in. Nicola, it's with S. Cool. Let's make a video call. And here we have our incoming call. Great. So you can accept or reject your video call. So here we have a null exception reference. I think the current user, we need to affect it to our current user property. Now, in the chat service, we need to add a new method called accept video call by friend, and inside it, we're gonna make app connection dot on accept video call by friend, and let's take an action called video call accepted by friend, type of 2 strings or 1 string. Now on the chat app, we need to take 2 parameters. So we need the current user and the friend user. Cool. In the friends page view model, we need to add another line. It will be accept video call by friend. And here we need to define the action that's generated, and inside it, when the friend accepts our video call, we navigate to the call page. Great. So let's copy and paste this line of navigation and change the name to call page. And here let's change the name to current user and friend email, current user email and friend email. And eventually don't forget to change from, and I think it's great. Let's deploy and see the result. Now let's deploy on the real device. And sign in. Normally, we need to navigate to a white page when we accept the call in the two devices. Let's make a video call, and when I accept, we navigate to the call page, which a white page. Cool. Now let's define this new call page. It will be something like this, and we need to define three buttons. One for end call, and two others to toggle or not the camera and the mic. Before that, we need to just delete the has navigation and set the navigation page dot has navigation bar to false in order to delete the top bar of the incoming page view and the call page. So here we're gonna make a grid with 3 rows, and inside it we're gonna define the web view and the 3 buttons. So the view will be used to make the real-time communication using camera and mic. And here I think we have done. So eventually you can get all the code, XAML code from GitHub. So we need to make a converter, Boolean to color converter. When you toggle or not the camera, for example, the background color will be, for example, a green or gray. And now we need to define and the code behind of the call page XAML page. So we need to define the view model, and in the constructor we need also to define the URL to this web view. That's why we're gonna make iWebView service, and we're gonna define it in the Android project. We're gonna override also the unappearing and check the permission for the camera and the mic. And after that, we need to define a method called connect, in which we're gonna call a JavaScript for initialize the communication between the two terminals and start the real communication. And the call page view model, we need to define the current user and the friend user, and don't forget to obviously to update the parameters of the init and start call. And finally, we're gonna add 3 methods and call toggle camera and toggle microphone. Cool. In the view model now, we need 2 booleans to activate or deactivate the video and the microphone, like on Facebook. And I think we have done here. Let's move to the Android. Before that, we need to create a new generic web view that implements the web view from the Xamarin framework, and update this from update this in the XAML page. So in the Android project, we're gonna override or use the native web view renderer. So that's why we need to export this web view from the Android project to Xamarin Forms shared project. That's why we're gonna define Android web view renderer. in order to enable JavaScript, clear cache, and set web Chrome client. In the same way, if you have an iOS project, you need to redefine this web view in iOS. Now, let's define a new service under the Android project called WebView service, in which we're gonna get content. It will be the URL for our HTML page. And don't forget to declare the dependency to use it in order to use it in the shaded project. Cool. That's great. So same thing in the Android web view renderer. We need to export renderer to the shaded project. That's why we're going to use export render and change type of generic web view and the Android web view renderer. Cool. Finally, let's move to the assets and paste our HTML and JavaScript that contain how to connect to a WebRTC. So here we're going to use a Google Stan free server. So in real case, you can buy a service from to use the Stan server. So in the call page view model, let's override the initialize method, and inside it we're gonna get the connected user and affected to assign it to current user property. And we need to get also the friend object from the navigation parameter and cast it to user model. So you're gonna change this to current user, and eventually don't forget to add the necessary permission for camera, record audio, internet, and modify audio settings. Let's deploy our application on the real device. So here I have two real devices, and this is the projection of one of my real devices here. So gonna use the first one, and let's call from the second device, and here we go. Oh, that's worked correctly. Very nice. So here we have two devices. You can see it, the projection and the real one in my hand. And we can also activate, deactivate the camera and the microphone. So it's very easy to do that. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next tutorial.